Okay, the question here is, did Blizzard plant a vanilla WoW NPC with the foreshadowing events of the War Within? How long has Chris Metzen been running ahead of time for this story? The NPC in question was introduced in patch 1.13.2, that's right near the beginning of the game, 20 years ago. Now that he is back, he can pick up the breadcrumbs he left before. The NPC in question is in Silithus, or was. Her name is Ralo'Shan the Eternal Watcher. If you see Zidormi in Silithus, in the current time you can travel back to when there was no sword in Silithus. Now when you turn around, there is a tower on the hill behind you called Staghelm Point. As you climb to the top of the tower, you come up to the Eternal Watcher. While she is not involved in any quest lines, she tells you a story of her past and future. Let's have a look and break down what she tells us. Make sure you stick around until the end, as that is when it gets really juicy. She says, "Greetings, traveller. It was here nearly 1,000 years past that the Karaji began their march of destruction across Kalimdor. Thousands of lives were lost during the war, most in this cursed desert during the initial invasion. I am only one of a few that remain, chained to both the past and the present. I know not why I am to remain stationed here, but I know that I must." The player asks, "How do you know?" "I have been slain 100 times. I always wake here, alive. Some say I'm cursed and others." What do they say? They say that I am blessed, a herald to hearken in a new age. Okay, she is old. She's eternal. It is natural that she talks about the Karaji, as Silithus was home to Ankaraj, a former Titan research facility that was also a prison to an old god, Cthulhu. The elves protecting Silithus from the Karaji outpouring over Kalimdor enlisted Nostradamus' bronze dragonflight to quell the threat, and hence empowered Night Elf Watchers to oversee and advise on the threat over time. Let's take note. She has been slain 100 times and always reawakens in the same spot. On this vision of the PTR after Sargeras' sword has struck Silithus, she appears to still be on the hill telling the same story. But, seems she was removed from the live release of the patch and has not been seen again. If you go to Wowpedia, you can find this image of her deceased, but again, she's not found in the live game. Now some say that she is a herald to hearken a new age. She is eternal. She saw the events of Ankaraj come and go, yet her watch ended and she has not been seen in the live game since the sword of Sargeras pierced Azeroth in Silithus. Is that a sign of the new age? So what does she say next? Ancient forces stir, forces that have not been seen or felt for thousands of years. The world weeps, Night Elf. Perhaps a new Sundering comes, a sickness born from within. The foulness has begun to seep into our lands. From the dream comes nightmares, nightmares to befoul us in our waking hours. Ancient forces stir, a new Sundering comes, a sickness is born from within. Ancient forces stirring could potentially be the last kingdom of the Nerubians, Azj-Kahet, which is beneath the earth. A new Sundering comes. The old Sundering 10,000 years ago, at the height of the Night Elf Empire and the explosion at the Well of Eternity, was powerful enough to split the ancient continent of Kalimdor into the world we see today. What could another Sundering do to the world today? A sickness born from within. Considering the next expansion is a war within, it could be talking about what Xal'atath is creating with the blood of the old gods that she's been collecting. Perhaps the sickness born from within is the culmination of collecting the blood of the old gods and her being reborn in her true old god form. While the final statement starts vague, with foulness seeping into our lands, it then references the nightmare coming from the Emerald Dream. This could be in reference to previous events within the game in which we faced the nightmare with Xavius, or it could be a resurgence of the nightmare pouring forth into our reality, as we've been learning more over time about the nature of the dream throughout Dragonflight. Whichever way you interpret the words of the Eternal Watcher, I think that this was planted long ago as a foreshadowing of the events to come. Maybe it's not related at all, it's just a coincidence in the wording and location. But maybe this has been the plan for 20 years. To find out more on the grand plans of the Warcraft universe, check out this video on Sidon-Athreus and his grand plan to control it all. Thank you for watching, make sure you hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.